Hello and welcome back to another video. So as you can tell from the title of this video, of course, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the future of Prodigy RP. So as of the day of recording this video, July 13th 2024, they did a little bit of a community meeting where they talked about quite a couple things. They did a little bit of a Q&A and teased a little bit, which we'll talk about very shortly. But this video is going to probably be quite short, as not a lot was really revealed during the meeting besides some hints at this or that during it. But today I wanted to actually condense that meeting. It was around about an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes long. I figured I'd make this video for you guys to kind of just give you the gist of what happened in the meeting, as well as some potential ideas that I've had myself, as well as some stuff to speculate for the future of the server. So starting off with the meeting, Ravage kind of began it, which again, Ravage is the owner or the operator of Prodigy RP, began it talking about just nothing too crazy, nothing really related to the server besides some stuff about like harassment and how they have a zero tolerance policy for that, and at any point you can contact their moderators and they'll get it handled, which is really nice to see. Obviously a lot of communities out there boast that they have a zero tolerance policy for a lot of stuff, but it's nice to see a server actually get up there and back it up, saying you can literally just DM their staff and they'll get it handled, which is really nice to see. Again, Prodigy seems like a really nice community, and I'm glad they're trying to keep it that way and putting stuff in place to stop any issues like this from happening in the future, or just to stop them from happening in general. So really nice to see that. Glad they addressed that as well. It definitely leads to a healthier community, as well as knowing that, you know, people can play freely on the server, and if there's any weird people out there, that they'll certainly get handled quite fast. Definitely nice to know for a ton of people playing on the server. But that was kind of the main way he started off the meeting, just talking about that a little bit. Some stuff about the servers, just health here and there, talking about how they're still getting queues of up to 100 players almost every day, which is really nice to see, especially for Prodigy. But soon after that, the interesting part in my opinion, or one of the most interesting parts in my opinion, is he teased a little bit of a teaser video, which again, I'll analyze it and we're going to go in depth into it in just a second here. It's about 30 seconds long, so if you want to watch it real quick, I will put it on screen now. You can look through that, and then we're going to break it down and try and figure out what this video means, as well as see, you know, what little stuff was hidden inside of it, and possibly what we can piece together from different stuff he was saying within the community meeting to see what the real purpose of this video is. So let me play that for you guys real quick, and hope you guys enjoy it. Unfortunately, Twitter compression is horrible, and that's where they posted it, so again, it's not going to look the best, but I'll put it on screen now real quick for you guys to watch. Hope you enjoy that. Alright, so there is the video that was of course teased on the stream. Now, there is a couple ideas for this video. So first of all, to give you guys a little bit more context about what he later talked about during the stream and during the Q&A portion, is that a lot of the questions that were asked about certain features that were coming to the server, certain stuff that wanted to be changed, certain stuff with the DOJ, the government, PD, EMS, etc., and just like criminal stuff in general, a lot of it he was given, you know, of course there's going to be an update very soon covering all of this. So that leads me to believe, along with it actually saying literally Project RP2, that they are most likely doing a second version of the server. Ravage had also said, when they asked about, I think someone had asked about a wipe or something similar to that, he said, you know, the anniversary of Prodigy RP being out for about a year is coming very soon. I believe he said they released it on, it was either the 23rd or the 27th of last year. He had talked a little bit about the economy, how it's getting a little out of hand, etc. And of course, all of these, for me being on about 2 million RP servers, I can tell, at least I hope I can tell, that there is going to be a wipe very shortly.
How far do I think a wipe is? Well, I think we launched this server on August 27th of 2023. And from people that know me and things I've said in the past, I never like to see a server economy go over a year. So
now, when is this wipe? If it is going to happen, of course, I have about a 90% chance that it's going to happen. That's about what I would give it from, again, my previous experience, as well as what he was saying on stream. Leads me to believe that along with the video, to go back over to the video, there was a couple interesting things I saw. So first of all, at the top left, when the video is first starting, you can actually see that it's either the time or the date of the computer is 8/25, which leads me to believe maybe it's going to be next month, of course, August 25th. So that's my main idea for when the time is. Of course, the video ended, of course, with showing a date of 8 and then something blanked out, 24. So we do know that there's going to be some sort of big update in August, or of course next month, if you're watching this during July. I mean, yeah, that's how days work. But to go along with that, it seems like there is going to be a huge update next month. And from what he was saying and what people were asking and how he was responding to certain questions, I can almost guarantee there is going to be a wipe of the server. Now, what does this wipe entail? It could be a complete wipe of everything. Your cars, your houses, your money. Maybe it's just a wipe of money. Maybe it's just a wipe of cars. Maybe it's just a wipe of skill trees. We don't know, but I believe that at the very least, the economy is going to be wiped. And if you don't wipe away houses and cars with that, there's really no point to wiping an economy, because then you can just sell your cars, of course. So it's almost 100% chance, again, in my opinion, that there is going to be a wipe next month. Now, what does this mean for the server health, as well as the server in general, as well as my videos on the server? So honestly, I don't really want to start building a whole storyline on Prodigy if it's just going to be wiped next month. As much as I love, again, Prodigy and the community over there, and I love RPing over there, honestly, there's a ton of people I know and I've met on Prodigy that have amazing RP, and almost every interaction I run into is a great interaction of people who are actually there and seem like they want to RP. Now, unfortunately, it does suck. If I do start building a storyline, or I want to start a gang, or I want to start a business, if that's all going to be wiped next month, it's going to suck for you guys as the viewers, seeing a storyline half complete, as it's been obviously happening recently on the channel. We've had a lot of storylines that kind of just dwindled out, unfortunately, due to either server issues, people getting banned, people not being able to get around them more. There's a lot of really annoying stuff that's out of my control that kind of stops storylines, and I'd hate to start a cool storyline on Prodigy for it to just be screwed next month if they do end up wiping the server and kind of resetting it. So we're probably not going to be making any Prodigy videos for about the next month, but I do plan on going back once it wipes, if it does wipe, of course, or whenever the big update is next month, and primarily sticking to Prodigy as our main server. I have some really cool ideas for Prodigy, but don't want to give all of them away, but I believe we are finally going to be starting a gang of our own once again. The last time we did that was on Gold Rush, and we didn't honestly run it the best, in my opinion, but I think I learned a lot from that, and I think I'm going to be able to run a really cool gang on Prodigy in the next update. And hopefully we can do some really cool RP with that. I'm not 100% sure again if I'm going to be making one or joining one, but I definitely know I want to have some really cool RP planned. And I also might be coming out with a series on a different character for once. Again, crazy, changing it up from the usual Zets I've been doing for the last 5 years. I've been wanting to create a new character on there as well, so be sure to look out for that coming in the next month or two. But let's go back to analyzing this video. So again, there was a couple things. Of course, you can see on the command line that it says Prodigy, or that it says Project RP 2, which again leads to a 2.0. Kind of makes sense there. At the start of the video, about 5 seconds in, we're also given a little bit of info on the command line. We can see it says loading Trojan OS, load complete. Welcome to Trojan OS ANUSEC, which I'm not sure what ANUSEC means, but that might be something to do with a puzzle, as they did say there was a puzzle involved with this. Enter a command to begin, or type help for a list of commands. So not too much to gather from here. Again, at the top left, we can see what I believe says 8/25, which again leads me to believe that the date may be 8/25 for the release. No idea what ANUSEC means. We'll have to figure that out hopefully later on. Next, about 16 seconds into the video, we see execute project rp2.exe, and then below that, loading 3.33% is what it gets stuck on, so not sure if that relates to anything. Again, we're going to go through this in depth, so if any of you puzzle solvers out there want to try and figure it out, if it's more of an in-depth puzzle than it just saying 8/25 at the top left, then try and do it, of course, in the comment section. And then we can see a loading 1 out of 30, and I eventually think it goes over to 3 out of 30 at the end. So no idea what that could be for. But definitely going to be interesting to see if that relates to anything, or if anyone in the comments is going to be able to solve any kind of puzzle if there is more here than what I'm thinking. Let's keep going along in the video though. We then have this little bit of a weird effect happen at around 20 seconds where it starts glitching out. Now, I've tried kind of pausing it here and there to try and see if there's anything cool we can try and figure out from these glitches. And again, I did it every single second, frame by frame, trying to figure it out, and I couldn't find anything too crazy. And then we have the date countdown, of course, at the end of the video, and it eventually goes over to 8, and then it kind of blanks out the middle so we can't see the exact date. And that's where it ends, although before it ends, it does show these little blue lines. Now, I'm not sure if those relate to anything. I tried doing a reverse image search on them and didn't really find anything meaningful. So I'm not sure if those 4 marks mean the 4th, which would be kind of crazy. That'd be kind of soon, but it could also just be something they used to hide it and have no relevance at all. Now, if I really want to tighten my tinfoil hat over my head a little bit tighter, there is also these 2 images I'll show you guys now that potentially could lead to some sort of QR code. I've tried combining them together, wasn't able to get anything, just maybe because of the video compression or because of how it's set up. This might also just be glitches and have no use at all, but there was a couple interesting moments during the glitches there that maybe you can extrapolate into something. Again, I'm hoping somebody else in the comments is a little smarter than me and can kind of try and figure this out. It also could just be the whole entire quote-unquote puzzle is just at 825 in the top left, which hopefully it's not that, or I'm gonna look real stupid right now trying to, in-depth look in this and try and find something crazy hidden. Maybe there's nothing hidden and it's literally just that date, but I have no idea. This is just me with my tinfoil hat on, trying to figure stuff out and trying to be a detective. But again, that's pretty much looking through that whole video in depth, trying to figure out what we can about it. But that's all I got. If any of you puzzle solvers in the comment section below want to try and figure out more, you are welcome to. I will put the link to the video in the description below if you want to have a look at it for yourself as well. But with that out of the way, analyzing that video a little bit more, trying to see if we can find anything interesting about it, let's talk a little bit about my current ideas of the state of the server, as well as what they could do to improve the server for the future, as well as this potential 2.0 version, what I think some really needed features are, and some really needed fixes are. So let's talk about that now. So starting off, there was a couple things that he did talk about during the meeting. One of the biggest things, in my opinion, was he said that there is going to be or he pretty much hinted at there being a civilian skill tree. Now we know on Prodigy there is the criminal skill trees. I believe there's 4 or 5 different classes that each pertain to different jobs and activities on the server. There is, of course, ones that relate to the drugs. There's ones that relate to guns and explosives. There's ones that relate to money washing and a couple other ones. I forget what the last one is, if I'm being honest, but those are kind of the 4 classes I believe that they have at the moment. But what they said is they plan to add a lot of civilian skill trees for players that want to stay civilian and actually do no crime and have some benefits from that. They want to have it so while some of these civilians will have certain jobs, or I'm guessing parts of these skill trees, to get certain items that criminals really can't, and will force criminals as well as civilians to interact with each other to get different things, or mostly criminals trying to interact with civilians to get items that they can't get, since they are, of course, a criminal. I think that's huge. That's going to promote a ton of RP between the criminals and the civilians, and actually have a use for civilians, and make civilians something, that criminals have to interact with often, and that are very useful and can get stuff that, of course, criminals can't. Now, he did also hint something about a potential, if you're a civ only and you only do civ stuff, that there's potential different prio system for you as well, which I think is honestly a really good change. I was a little bit against it when I first heard it, but after thinking over it for a couple of minutes, I think it's great. It promotes there to be actual civs in the server and to give people an OOC reason to be a civ. Of course, if you want to focus on the civ life, it's really cool that they're kind of gonna be able to potentially reward people for that and allow them to get on the server more. So we know, of course, maybe more people are going to try to want to be civilians in this potential 2.0 update, which I think is a cool idea. Haven't really seen it done on many other servers, so excited to see what happens with that. He also had talked about them adding in new guns to the server, as well as making a lot of the unused criminal classes and a lot of the unused criminal skills actually used in, hopefully what he's talking about is the next version of the server, or of course their 2.0. But that was kind of some of the main stuff that Ravage had talked about. Now let's go into my personal opinions on what I think they really need to work on for 2.0, if it is going to be a 2.0, what they should change, what they should add, what they should remove, etc. Starting off for the criminals, there was just not enough heists in the current version of Prodigy. I think I was on the server for maybe a month and a half, and I was able to do every single heist easily and not really have any problems with any of them. A lot of the heists on Prodigy are very cool, in-depth, super unique to the server, and I've really not seen anything like it before. The only problem with them is a lot of them don't really require a high skill cap to accomplish. As long as your people in the heist are able to read out numbers correctly and type numbers incorrectly, once you've kind of figured out the heist and how to do it, it's pretty straightforward and you're able to do it on repeat without really having many issues. I hope that they add, first of all, more heists, as currently there are really only a couple heists in the server. There's of course the Fleeka heists and the bank heists, and those are kind of the two main like actual heist jobs on the server. Now of course there's bank trucks, there's stores, there's ATMs, there's growing and selling of various different drugs, but there's no real like heist to look forward to. Like for instance, when I did the Fleeka, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was an amazing experience. When I did the Bobcat, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was an amazing experience. But once I've done both of those, I was like, okay, what's the next step? Do I have to grind out the Fleekas to maybe get a rare item, to maybe do a Polito bank, or go do the big bank? Also, there is of course Vangelicos, but I'm not even counting that as a heist. It's literally just a smash and grab, and then of course you have a cop chase. But I think there needs to be more stuff to look forward to as being a criminal, and stuff to kind of work towards, try and figure out, and of course get better at. With Fleeka heists on the server, again, as I was saying before, once you know how to do them, you can kind of do them with no real issues or no real problems. I'm hoping they added some really hard skill-based mini games for the heists in 2.0, so that you actually may have only a couple people on the whole server who actually know how to do them, and these people are super valuable. You have to hire them, of course, adding RP to the whole entire thing, because now again, not everyone and their mother can do a actual heist. You actually have to have someone who has the skills to be able to pull it off. I think honestly there needs to be, again, as I was saying, something again look forward to. So maybe some harder heists that are a lot harder to get to and require stuff from previous heists to actually unlock would be really cool. It would give people again some more longevity to the server. First of all, figuring them out, and then if you figure them out, still having people that have the skills to be able to pull off the heist. I think that's definitely a drawback to Prodigy at the moment, is there's really not many heists, and most of the heists, once you do them once or twice, are kind of the easy and same thing over and over again, and kind of loses a lot of the feeling of excitement for a, of course, bank or Bobcat heist. To keep going with the criminal stuff, I think that's about it really. They just need to change a couple things with the heists. I think every other system for the criminals is amazing. Of course, the skill trees, if they allow more of it to be used, will be great. Having the gangs have like rep systems and even have leaderboards makes it super fun and even a little bit competitive. Overall, I just think the criminal experience is great on Prodigy, gang to gang and gang stuff, of course, but once it comes to heists and jobs, it does lack a little bit, and I like to see that improved on for the next version of the server. Something cool that I used to have, of course, on Eclipse and other servers back in the day would to be like some sort of public lab. Now, of course, there was people in Prodigy controlling sort of the coke production on the server, which I thought was pretty cool. They were taxing it, kind of trying to take it over. I think it'd be cool to have something similar to that, but with multiple things. I think having an area that you could cook stuff at, of course, cook that blue stuff that Heisenberg has, doesn't, you know, YouTube doesn't like me saying that, but something along those lines, or kind of a like little weed spot that maybe you get increased growth and it grows faster or something, but of course people can try and raid it and take it over from you. Something like that could increase a lot of the RP conflict between gangs and for actual reasons. Could be interesting, could also be horrible. Just an idea, throwing it out there. But those are my main ideas for the criminal side of Prodigy. Now, to look at the civilian side, it sounds like they're already on top of it. First of all, the civilian side of Prodigy, in my opinion, is a ton of fun. There's a ton of different jobs that you can grind through and unlock different things at, unlock different stuff as you're going up the levels for. And really, it's quite a satisfying grind, in my opinion. It's kind of the perfect amount of grind where it's not too much, but it's not too little to unlock the next step. Now, playing on the server for a little bit, it seems like certain jobs didn't really unlock stuff when you hit certain levels. So I'd like to see more unlockables as you progress through the different levels of the civilian jobs, which again is a little bit to ask for, but honestly the civilian stuff on Prodigy is quite fun. And if they introduce a civilian skill tree like they were talking about in the community meeting, I think that would really improve the civ life and give people a lot more stuff to strive for. I believe I have also heard some rumors of player-owned businesses where you can kind of just buy a business and kind of where you can literally just buy a house and set it up as a business and have certain scripts maybe that are already pre-installed that allow you to buy and sell different various goods. I like to see that actually implemented in 2.0, and I think it could really lead to a lot of cool stuff. But overall, that's kind of it for sort of my opinions on Prodigy. I think it's a great server, and I'm really excited to see what they do with 2.0. Again, if it's coming, I have a 99% chance it is coming. So when it comes, let's just say that. Let's be positive and say when it comes, I'm excited to see the future of Prodigy. I have a ton more ideas. Hey, Ravage, if you end up somehow watching this video, send me a DM. I can share them all to you. But yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for this video, kind of going over the community meeting that happened today, as well as talking a little bit about the potential for a wipe and a 2.0 version of Prodigy RP. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you maybe learned something, or again learned something about the community meeting that you didn't catch, make sure to leave a like on this video. If you guys end up trying to figure out any sort of a puzzle with that video that they had posted, let me know as well in the comment section below. I think that's gonna be about it. If you did enjoy the video and you want to, of course, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.